Well, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. We are back with this evening's edition of the Rumour Mill. It's Connor, and we're back here really to discuss the setting, the scene, right now, the environment at Leeds United, and try at least have a little bit of a conversation about what we're expecting, ins and outs, and maybe a little bit of a calming influence on proceedings right now for all of you guys and myself, a bit of perspective. But before we start the video, please make sure you're liking, you commenting, subscribing, checking out the counterpoint from earlier on. We've just done an Across the Pond, a fantastic episode with Gabe. That's on the Patreon now live. Make sure you check that out, everybody, if you want some bonus content. And let's get into it, shall we? So we've seen today that Charlie Creswell has left Leeds United for 3.8 million quid to Toulouse. And have Leeds lost on this one? Have we Touloused on Charlie Creswell? Doesn't work, does it? But you get what I'm going at. Yeah, I think we have a little bit. We've mentioned it several times about, the management of him and how we could have got a better fee for him. He leaves. There's also an interesting one with Max Dean at MK Dons that apparently Toulouse are caught in. Is that maybe a little bit of a discussion with Charlie Creswell on other profiles in the English leagues that Toulouse can make a move on? Who knows? Are they just scouting the Leeds United network? Who knows? But there we go. Fascinating to keep an eye on that one when it comes to just a small French club just nicking some decent Leeds protégés. But yeah, him leaving is an interesting one. Klaassen, not that interesting, to be quite honest with you, leaving Leeds United. There's been a lot of hysteria around Leeds going and getting Cairns. I actually think Cairns is a really good move. Someone who knows the area, knows the club, has grown up within the academy, 31 years of age now, has played for Fleetwood, Salford, has got some good caps under his belt, and there's an actual conversation about who should be the second goalkeeper here. Cairns has racked up so many Football League performances, is a real leader in any group, and is a local lad. There's an argument right now that he should be pushed up ahead of Darlow, who just feels like he's at Leeds almost for the paycheck and isn't really bothered about pushing Eli Mele whatsoever. His only start for Leeds was absolutely abhorrent, and yeah, you'd probably push Cairns ahead of him in terms of the pecking order. I'm sure that will happen, to be quite honest with you, but homegrown player again, so yeah, good to have Cairns on board for this one. The state of play with the transfers right now is Roca's left, Llorente looks to be going to Real Betis, confirmed by Romano, not the YEP, and that just really amplifies right now what a closed book Leeds are in terms of the 49ers. And I mentioned earlier that when I met with one of the representatives, it was very much like hush hush with Leeds United and hush hush about telling anyone anything. So people have got what they wish for when they wanted a closed book, but they now can't have the other side of the coin where they then want the YEP and other sort of publications close to Leeds leaking everything. And we get a lot of people on the Rumour Mill saying, 10 minutes of waffle, 15 minutes of nothing, but you guys enjoy the discussion, the discourse, the debate around Leeds United. Unfortunately, right now, when the stimulus isn't really there, we can only be speculative about the rumours around the club. Nothing is confirmed. It's not the confirmation mill. This is just discussion, which I know a lot of you guys enjoy, but unfortunately we get the morons coming on who just say 10 minutes of waffle, and that's sort of all you get. But when there's nothing coming in, guys, we can only speculate and we can only discuss about what you want and what I want going towards the back end of the window. So Georginio Rutter, muted fee, Brighton, apparently, according to their sources down there as well, they're interested in Georginio Rutter. What do we know as of right now? That one doesn't seem to be going away. Is that going to rumble on till the back end of the window? Now, we were discussing this earlier. If Rutter is to add goals to his game, I mean, he's a top 10 Premier League footballer, no doubt about it. I've seen so many wow moments from him this season that you just think that if he just glues a little bit more of that puzzle together, you're actually going to see one of the most complete footballers you've probably ever seen at championship level. He's just so good, and he's not been the star boy this season. That has been Summerville. But it is really interesting to see if he's able to glue some of those bits together this season, the deficiencies in his game. The level that this boy could get to is absolutely astronomical in my opinion. You've seen that with the clubs that have been interested in him. Top level clubs, top 6 clubs, top 8 clubs, European clubs on the circuit as well. So they know the potential of this boy and his age as well. So as Leeds fans, we can't just say, oh, well, he's not good enough, like we all seem to do as a fan base, or some people seem to do as the fan base. We're at championship level right now, and you're getting some top clubs interested in these players, which is very indicative of where they're going to be in their careers, in my opinion. Archie's gone, Joe's in. Really good bit of business there, in my opinion, with the fee that we got, and Rodon coming back, rejecting Brentford, Ipswich, other clubs at Premier League level. Well done, Leeds, and Rodon on that front. Looks like Connor Roberts is going to be the next one in. That appears to be doing a lot of circulation right now when it comes to Leeds and what we need and all this sort of stuff. There's been the French lad at Montpellier that there's been discussion on as well today. More of that will come round the corner if that is an actual proper link. I'm not sure it is right now. It seems to be a bit fabricated. 10 million euros for a Montpellier right back. Who knows? Would Leeds spend that on a right back? I don't think they would. So I think that's all a bit fabricated, to be honest with you. But then you look at the overall makeup of the squad. Firpo, with 12 months left on his deal, are they going to offer him a new deal or are they going to look for another left back? I think they might go for another left back. But the whole makeup of the squad right now, it really does depend in a strange sort of way on what we do with Summerville. If Leeds were able to get some decent income in from a Summerville deal that gives us 40 million plus, then wow, I mean, Leeds are going to be able to do some special things in this window. That sort of money at championship level is ridiculous. And obviously with the money as well, I don't know if that's been solely put against the club's books when it comes to Archie Gray, but if there is a little bit over from that, and obviously Red Bull as well, which we're told at the start the Red Bull money is going to go into what's happening on the pitch. Leeds are in for an exciting summer, but the other end of the coin here is, or the other end of the spectrum is sort of just filling into me right now that we're just not going to be that busy. I don't know what it is, and that's not based on anything. It's just my opinion. I'm not 100% sure that's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But the squad makeup at the minute is okay. I wouldn't be going out and selling Kamara, to be honest. I think there's development in his game, but I'm really, really wary of just getting rid of so many players, and that turnover is going to be huge. We know Cooper's going to be leaving, which experience-wise is going to be big. Creswell's now left, who's been a background voice for many years now. And one of the biggest youth prospects we've had in terms of, he's going to come up. He's been captain of England, captain of Leeds. He's going to be the next breakout star. That's not happened. He's moved on. And right now, Leeds have sort of moved on a lot of those older heads now. Dallas, Cooper, Ayling, they've all now gone, and they were there at the start of last season. So it's a big churn now. It's a big churn. And people who don't value experience, I think, are a little bit naive in football. I think some people put a little bit too much on it, but I do think it is a big value. And right now from that period, we've pretty much just got Bamford and Meslier, who are really the standouts. So yeah, huge period in Leeds United's fortunes right now, because we know this window has to be good. We know it has to be special. But what do you do with the pricing of like a Rutter? If a Brighton come in, they've been courting him all summer and they put like a 37 million quid bid in or a 35 million quid bid in, because Leeds will want to make profit on what they signed him for. And I think that's the only way they'd let him go, because why would you let him go elsewise if you don't need to, which I'm not sure Leeds do. That if we can keep hold of him, you can keep hold of Summerville. Imagine if they could do that and just dot around one or two or three extras. Leeds are in a really good position in a weaker league going forward into next season. And I think that's the perfect package what Leeds can look for right now. And yeah, do I think Gnonto will go? I think he's probably at this moment in time, it feels like he's the most vulnerable. But then you look at the clubs who are going to be interested in him. The Serie A clubs, the most they spent last season was Juventus, and the most they spent was 56 million euros. In third place was, I think it was Atalanta on 40 million euros for the full season, summer and the winter window. These clubs don't spend a lot of money, so are they going to front up 20, 25 million quid for Willy Gnonto? I just don't think it's going to happen. So Willy Gnonto, for me, a lot of it is going to be like Everton or bust. And the only reason I mention Everton is because Everton have been courting him for like 2 years now. But they've got Dyche and McNeil in that sort of Harrison and McNeil in that Dyche system. Is Willy Gnonto really a proper Dyche winger? I don't think he's a starter anyway. He'll come off the bench like Dan Juma did last season and impact things in that way. But I wouldn't say he's a proper Dyche winger. So, why would he go to Everton? It's Premier League, it's more exposure, of course. So that's the reason. But are they going to front up that money as well? And I think Leeds will be pushing for a hard bargain there. They 100% will, because he's an asset. They brought him in for less. He's done well, and they know they can really amplify that asset, like they're going to try and do with Aronson, like they're going to try and do with Summerville and Rutter and all those players that they're going to sell, who they believe have a real profit margin on them. So yeah, I don't know, everyone. I think it's going to be a really interesting period, but the state of play at this moment in time is it feels like it's just more outgoings than incomings. But the discussion around all of them is so interesting right now, because there's points to which every one of them could stay and points to which every one of them could go as well. Really fascinated to see what you guys think on this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We'll be back, everybody, as always, with a live stream tomorrow. We'll be discussing Leeds United's next transfers. We're also going to have Nancy on the show tomorrow, I believe, so come over and say hi for that one. Might be a midday kickoff. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. See you on the other side. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the Patreon. Check out the stream from earlier on today. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.